Hello everybody! Hello! 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 I am late to the party today. I've been live for 10 minutes and I've only just shown up. Ah, the joys of doing the painting streams. But yes, yeah, here's the title. It was not obvious enough. That's what we're doing today. I need my glasses. I haven't put them on yet. Let me fix that. I've also only just had a shower, hence why my hair's a bit... Yes, how are we all? How is everybody doing today? Are we all hunky-dory? Are we all well? That through. I will eventually sort out a actual proper camera for doing these streams with, as I always say. But until then, we go with the phone because it works. It's the simple reason. It works and it's cheap. Well, I say it works. It kind of works. It does the job, I should say. More so than, you know, it works, because as we all know, it doesn't really work all that well. But oh well. It does the job it needs to. As I sort out my cables, because as we all know, when I do the painting streams, the desk becomes a mess. Right, I need to put my fan on because it is hot today. So, for those who haven't seen the social media posts, well, this obviously, those of you on YouTube, if you've clicked this video later, when the archive goes up, you guys will know the end result of these minis. You just get to watch the in progress stuff, and those of you on Twitch get to watch it happen live. Woo! So, what are we doing today? Well, today we are continuing the Middle-earth strategy battle game, Crest of the Ringbearer, Crest of the Fellowship, whatever the fuck I've called it. Narrative campaign prep, which me and the girlfriend are going through the campaign at the moment. We haven't actually been able to play any games since the last painting stream, for multiple reasons. Number one, me not sorting out terrain stuff. I need to make some hills. Basically, I made them months ago. I just haven't got round to painting them yet, which isn't great, considering how it's literally just paint them brown, stick some stacked grass on, bada bing, bada boom, they're done. I just haven't got around to doing it. But in the meantime, so and the other reason is recently I've not had a table to play the game on, because I replaced my dining room table. I've just replaced all my dining room furniture, which is one of the reasons why I'm a bit late today, because that all came today. That all came this morning, so I basically had to wait for that to come, all be sorted out, and then I could do this. Because otherwise, you know, Lord knows, if they hadn't come this morning, about an hour or so ago, then it would have come like now or in like an hour or so, while I'm in the middle of doing the stream. There'd be a knock on the door and I'd have to go for however long. But no, thankfully it all came this morning. Everything is all set up. House has been completely redecorated. Well, not completely redecorated. The downstairs has been completely redecorated. And the garden is in the process of being sorted. But yes. Anyway. let's jump on over to the mini painting screen. So, yes, today, hello. This is the problem with this setup for these streams. Because where the camera is, there you go, that works a bit better, doesn't it? Alright. And there's also the problem of every time I set it up again, the camera on the phone is in a different position. Let's put the ring light on. That hasn't really done much, has it? We don't really need it. Let's refread that round. Right. Okay, so today we are doing the prep for Flight to the Forward. And rather than doing Arwen and Arwen on our horse, because I fucking hate painting horses, I have come to terms with that now. As someone whose main army in Middle Earth Strategy Power Game is Rohan, because I like Rohan, it didn't take very long for me to decide I fucking hate painting horses. I hate it. As someone whose previous hobby miniature painting experience was a little bit of Warhammer 40k when he was a kid, and then some Star Wars Legion and Marvel Crisis Protocol, mostly just to paint the models. I don't play the games. I'm not a big fan of those games. From what very little I played for them. I've only played a couple games of them, to be fair. But I'm not overly fond of it, but I like the minis. I like the minis, I like those characters, so I still buy the minis just to have the hobby experience. More so Marvel Crisis Protocol. I don't really buy much Star Wars Legion nowadays. Most of my hobby money goes into Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game and the odd bit of Warhammer, since I've gotten back into that since Leviathan launched, which I still haven't built. I haven't built it, but I will. I will eventually build Leviathan. I might paint it on stream. I might paint some of the more notable characters on stream when I start to run out of Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game characters, but we have plenty. I have all the streams for this year in terms of the minis, in terms of the painting streams. I have all of them. Well, I don't have a set list in terms of when they will be. My plan is basically, once I run out, go through the ones I need for the narrative campaign in order, and then once I start to run out of that, I'll do others, which also includes characters who will show up later, who are all prepped and ready to be painted, but aren't in the campaign for a while, such as Faramir. Faramir's Rangers, Eowyn, Éomer, Theoden, Saruman, Grima, Gandalf the White, and others. Oh, Haldir. Though, I might do Haldir next. I don't know. I don't know well, the next one will be I say this now, the next painting stream that I do, which should be next month, might be the month after, I don't know, it depends on what my schedule is like, will be either just the Wild Wag Chieftain, or Wild Wag Chieftain and something else. Maybe the Cave Troll. I don't know. Undecided. But Haldir will be, if not the paint stream after that, And then that will be all the elf characters that we need for this campaign done. Because we've done Legolas. Well, I've done Arwen and Glorfindel by the end of the stream. Haldir will be later. Are there any other elves that we need for this campaign who will be done, like, named elves? Because I don't well, it depends on which version of the Pelennor stuff we do, whether we do the version based off of the ones in the film or the version in the book. So it'll be either, yeah, the Army of the Dead is at the Pelennor or the Grey Company are at the Pelennor. Because if that's the case, we will also have Elwahir and Eladrin. And I might throw Elrond in with those guys as well. Because I don't really have any other time to do Elrond. There's no other, like, good spot to put him. But my plan is, at some point, to have every single named character from the Middle-earth strategy battle game painted up on stream. In one form or another. I know, some of them will have multiples. Like Aragorn. Because I do plan on doing Aragorn as Elisar on stream. But that is way in the future! But yeah, so my plan is, but I have a bunch of the name characters waiting to be painted up on the stream. Like I have all the Thorns Company, which will fill a lot of this year. Obviously the Cave Troll and others. But I think I have every single mini that I need in terms of the narrative campaign through to the end of Fellowship of the Ring, with the exception of the Watcher in the Water. Oh, and the generic Goblin Commanders. I don't have those yet. But they're the next ones I will acquire. At least I plan to. Anyway, so, yes, so today we have Glorfindel, not the Forge World, Glorfindel. It's an important distinction. Just the old school metal Glorfindel. Because, yeah, he comes with Gildor, and we need Gildor for shortcuts make long delays. Oh yeah, that's the other character, that's the other elf character that we've done stream. I knew there was another one. But yeah, so we have Glorfindel in his non-armoured form. I really like this mini. I do really like this mini. It's a very cool mini. And then we also have Arwen as well. And if you can't tell, she was done quite later with a different type of paint on her for the primer, actually. I think actually Glorfindel might have been one of the last ones that I primed when I still used Army Painter Primer. But I've come to the conclusion that I fucking hate those bottles. I don't like the lids on those rattle cans. So I don't use that anymore. I use Colourforge now. Which is what is coating Arwen. Who does actually really look like Liv Tyler. Like, that is a very good likeness of Liv Tyler in miniature form. Also, ignore the state of my fingers that work. Yeah. Anyway, I do actually have some painted versions of these models already. Not these models specifically, but I do have the mounted versions of them, which I painted, which are in a bit of a worse state just due to the mould not being that great, especially on Glorfindel. Like, Glorfindel does look like he has been hit in the face with a frying pan. There wasn't much I could do about that. That mold, there was a very, very, very horrible mold line across his face, which does make it look like he's been hit in the face with a frying pan when you look at him from the front. When you look at him from the side, it looks absolutely fine. And then you look at it from the front, and it's like, oh dear. Also, this was my first attempt at making my own washes it didn't quite work. But I don't know. I think they turned out relatively all right. I think he turned out all right, personally. And then Arwen has a bit of a similar issue where there is it's just the way the model has been pressed, like the metal, where the metal has been pressed together. The way there's a dip there in her face, where the wash, when I applied the skin wash, the wash just soaked into that one particular spot, so it took a lot of work to fix. And I think I managed to. Again, she looks alright when viewed from a distance at a specific angle. But as you can see, they are very, very simple paint schemes, especially when it comes to the base paint, especially when it comes to the base coats. Very simple. Most of the time that went into those models, aside from Arwen fixing the problem on her face area, most of the time on those was spent on the horses, especially Glorfindel's, with all of the like armor and raiment and shit on it. But these models are in much better nick. much better nick. Also, it's very important that we do get Arwen painted, because when I originally floated the idea of doing this campaign to the girlfriend, I originally floated it as being a fantasy fellowship, and most of the characters that she chose were female characters, aside from a few. She wanted Martin Freeman Bilbo instead of Frodo for the Ringbearer, who is on the painting desk waiting. He will be done later in the year. She also very much was like, oh, I want Eowyn, I want Arwen, I want Tariel, I want girl power. And she was also like, oh, I do want Aragorn, and I forget who she wanted to replace Gandalf with. She might have just wanted to stick with Gandalf, to be fair. And and then either Mary or Pippin, she was like, Rosie Cotton, because she's got my name. So, fair enough. Anyway, right, let's break out. Let's stop beating around the bush. We've been live for 20 minutes and we haven't put any paint on the palette yet. We haven't even took our brush out of the box yet. Which, I do have some new brushes as well. I have replaced a lot of brushes in the time since we last did a paint stream. I've also bought some new paint, which is the reason why this paint stream didn't happen last month as it was originally going to. And I had to push all the others back a year. Not a year, a month. Because I ran out of brown wash. I ran out of strong tone wash. Which, for those who don't know, you know, painting Lord of the Rings, you use a lot of brown wash. In my experience, you use an awful lot of strong tone. Especially when it comes to painting elves. Like, my elf paint scheme relies a lot on strong tone. But I have some new ones. I have the Fanatic washes now, which, oh my fucking god, these washes. Oh, they're nice. Oh, they're so nice. I love the new paints. Army Painter have done such a good job with these paints. This stream isn't sponsored by Army Painter, but if they want to sponsor me and send me free shit, I am more than happy to shell out for them, because I use them all the time. It's like, I always use Army Painter stuff. I know a lot of people are like, oh, use Vallejo, use this. I haven't used Vallejo. I don't know. The only paints I've used for painting miniatures is Army Painter paints, mostly just their acrylic line. I have had a little bit of a play with the speed paints, but not really. Those I'm really going to experiment with over the summer. And the other, and then like a little bit of their Fanatic stuff, just matte black I've used because I went out of that, and their washes are the only ones that I've used so far, and they are lovely. I like them. I really, really, really like them. Excuse me. Forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, and the other line of paints that I've used is the Citadel stuff. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of the Citadel paints. Really not a fan. Massively overpriced for what they are, and also I fucking hate those bottles. I really hate those bottles. Like I bought Rosie for, it might have been for Valentine's Day, maybe. I don't know what it was, why I bought them for her, what the occasion was, but I basically bought her the 40k hobby starter box thing, where, you know, the one where you get like a sprue of space marine sensors, a sprue of ptarmigans or whatever the fuck, and then some snippers, some paint, like the paints, a brush, and hobby shit. And she was like, oh, I like doing the minis, I like doing I like the snippers in them, I like all of the other stuff in them, but I don't like the paint. She was like, the paint is lovely, I love the paint, I just really hate the pots. I'm like, yes. Exactly. Everybody fucking hates the Citadel paints. They just don't want to admit it. Everybody hates them. I know people swear by Vallejo. I have been meaning to give Vallejo a try. But the next thing I wanted to get for my like hobby stuff is a airbrush. Because I've been slowly working on the Witch King on Fellbeast. I kind of want an airbrush, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for when I come time to do the Balrog. Anyway, let's get some music going and then get started. So as usual, we're doing the Clamavi de Profundus. I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly, I don't really care. But first, adverts! Yay! There we go. Alright, let's lower the volume on that. There we go. Right, if the music is too loud, or if it's too quiet, or whatever, just let me know. Right, let's get some paint on, shall we? Show. Who shall we do first? I think if we do Glorfindel's tunic first, because that way we can then do his cloak once, while Arwen's... Now, if we do tunics first, then Arwen's dress, and then while that dries we can do Glorfindel's cloak, and then like skin and hair and stuff like that. I don't expect this to take very long, to be honest. Again, very simple paint schemes. So, what colour did I make your tunic? You hold to measure the meaning can make you delay. It's time you stop thinking. I like this song. I really like this version of The Hobbit. Like the old animated version of The Hobbit, fucking peak. fucking love that film. It's so good. It's such a good adaptation of the book. I know there are people out there in the Miller fandom community thing, whatever, who do have a soft spot for the Hobbit trilogy. I'm one of them, especially Unexpected Journey. Like, Hobbit Unexpected Journey is actually really good. It's just the later ones that aren't great. Essentially, when it starts focusing more and more and more on the, you know, the non-book characters. There we go. Ethereal blue I used for his tunic. Which is somewhere. Should be in the pen. There it is. Ethereal blue and frost blue for his cloak. I need purple worm for Arwen's dress. Troll skin for Farewell Emerald for his like sashes and shit. Right, it's all of a sudden gotten quite dark out. The cloud has obviously gone overhead. There we go. Right, there's my brush. Base coat. Right. Let's get started. Shake, 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 shake it. Oh good, the mic is okay. I just wanted to make sure. Ooh. Oh good, I do have some tissue ready to go. Alrighty. We're just gonna put this blue across all of his tunic. only the outer parts of the tunic, because the underparts of it will be done with green. Is the plan. It may take a couple coats for it to work. Because obviously it's also a bit difficult to tell what's... No, yeah, that's not cape. Good. What I was going to say was it's a bit difficult to tell when doing the inside bits of the tunic what's supposed to be his cape and what's just tunic. But actually looking at it, so the cape is, so the only part of the cape that's visible from the inside of him is that little bit there and that bit on the side of him. Everything else is tunic. So it's actually not that difficult. And even then, if we get some of this blue on the cloak, it doesn't overly matter because the inside of the cloak is going to be blue anyway. It's just going to be slightly different colour. But it's not an elven cloak, which surprised me. Glorfindel can't take an elven cloak. He's one of the few elf heroes who can't. Well, to be fair, he's not Lothlorien, but it's just weird because, you know, all of the models of him are wearing cloaks. But not elven cloaks, they're just cloaks. Okay. And we'll fix any missing bits later. So now we want purple one. I know the typical way to do it with Arwen, based off of how they have her in the army books, is for her to be in, like, yeah, the outfit that she wears during the chase scenes, so like the dark navy stuff. But she does wear purple. Have they ever done a version of her based off of how she is in the cut scene, like the cut stuff that she did at Helm's Deep? I don't think they have. I'm pretty sure it's in terms of like models for Arwen for the game. It's basically either this one, like this pack where it's this model and the model of her on her horse, which I have next to me, or that really fucking rare one where it's her on a horse with Frodo. Wasn't that done for the magazine? Like, isn't that like the only time you could get that model? Outside of like Mage Warders.
white he came at last to elven home, the green and fair, where keen the air, where pale as glass, beneath the hill of Gilmer.
There we go. And with that, which is about 90% done. There we go. Again, very, very, very simple models. Very simple minis. Very simple minis, very simple paint scheme. Like, we go for about an hour or so now. And bear in mind, we didn't actually start painting until about half an hour ago. And we've already done a fair bit of the base coats. I mean, if we finish them by, like, we probably won't finish them. I could probably finish Arwen in like 2 hours or so. See, this is why I don't do like single models unless they're big bastards. This is why I always group the models together for the streams, because I know that with a lot of them I can bang them out quite quickly. Shall we do Glorfindel's cloak? Let me just double check something real quick. Okay. Let's get Glorfindel's cloak done. Nope. Alright. That was very eager. I don't need that much paint, but alright. That's actually going on very easily. Have I like spilled water on this or something? Because I did have a bit of an incident when I was painting them before, where I accidentally knocked my water bowl right out the table that I work on. I spilt some of my water bowl out, so I'm just thinking whether or not it might have gone into that pot and just permanently watered down this paint. But oh well. It goes on quite well, doesn't it? And this is why we water down our paints, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, camera, focus, please. Thank you. And then the inside of the cloak is a different shade of blue as well. Just want to get the rim.
On him mighty doom was laid, till moon should fade and orbit star, to pass and tarry nevermore on hither shores where mortals are. Forever still a herald on, an errand that should never rest, to bear his shining lamp afar, the flammid of western.
Yep. Yep. That's the cloak done. At least the art part. Again, might need another coat on, but
Breaking news.
for now,
It's time for a power boost. I gotta train harder.
he's good.
Whoa! Power boost activated. Try Duracell Optimus for the next level of power.
The stream is not sponsored by Duracell
Science for your optimal at-home whitening. Every smile deserves to shine.
or Colgate. I refuse to pay for YouTube Premium, and ad block just doesn't work on YouTube. At least the ad blocker I use. Hey, okie dokie. Now what do we do? I wasn't expecting the cloak to be that quick. I guess we do. Oh, I do need matte black, actually, which I don't have in here, but I will be right back. I will be right back. I will go grab my matte black, because I need that for Iron's trousers. We only need a little bit.
Swell, fella
again, only a little bit. It's not nearly as much for trousers visible as on the mounted version. Because obviously on the mounted version, the dress is all like flowy backwards. Whereas on this one, it's not. Oh, yeah, she's on a metal base. Oh, that'll just be where it's like molded to her. Okay! I guess we could do the leather stuff, which is basically their boots. Yeah, boots. That's it. Because Glorfindel's gauntlets are metal, so let's do that. Where's my leather? Where's my nice leather brown, which is very pretty low. Gonna be honest. Again, painting Lord of the Rings stuff, and again, as someone who paints a lot of Rohan, I've gone through a lot of this. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that had like maybe 2 more models left in it. It definitely has some left in it. It doesn't have much. Not enough to warrant that. Though again, I think this is another one that had a bit of a disagreement with what. Yeah, that's like cream. We don't want it on that thick. It's nice instead of it's just the butts.
Ships beside the stony wall. Foam is white and waves are gray. Beyond the sunset leads my way. Foam is salt, the wind is free. I hear the rising of the sea. Farewell, friends, the sails are set. The wind is east, the moorings friend. Shadows long before me lie beneath shall raise ere all is done. Lands there are to west of west, where night is quiet and sleep is
There we go.
rest.
All coming together.
Guided by the lonely star, beyond the earth's most harbor bar, I'll find the havens fair and free, and reaches of the starlit sea. Ship, my ship, I seek the west, and fields and mountains ever blessed. Farewell to Middle Earth at last. I see the star above my mast.
I know you guys can't see what I'm doing at the moment, but it's basically I'm just painting her boots brown. It's just so that I can see. There we go. Easy! Again! Easy models. Where it's just like 4 colours on each of them. It's like, oh. After painting the Fellowship, my god, this is a different matter entirely. Again, I could have made Arwen a bit trickier by like doing like, you know, the blue and black outfit, but she does wear purple dresses and shit. Also, the girlfriend wanted her purple. I started doing the blue and greyish outfit, and girlfriend was like, "No, don't like it." And she sent me like what outfits of Arwen she liked, and she was like, "Oh, the purple dress that she wears." I'm like, alright, I'll do that then.
Cloudless night and swaying beaches bear the elven stars as jewels white amid their branching hair.
Ooh. Hello. Okay, that shouldn't be there. Back in a mo, I just need to go grab my slippers. Just need to go grab snips, because I've just noticed that on Glorfindel's shoulder, which going by the other shoulder, and also the mounted version, should not be there. I'll be back in a sec.
Glorfindel tower strong and high, beyond all mountains steep.
There we go.
Above all shadows rides the sun, and stars forever dwell. I will not say
Right.
the day is done,
Okay.
nor bid the stars farewell.
Right. We now want the white. Where's my matte white? I will eventually sort out like an actual proper paint rack, but nah. I have boxes. Though, well, if I do sort out a paint rack, it will clear an awful lot of space. Because I can get rid of these boxes. But until then...
I sit beside the fire and think of all that I have seen, of meadow flowers and butterflies in summers that have been, of yellow leaves and gossamer in autumns that there were, with morning mist and silver sun and wind upon my hair.
I don't know why, but my matte white paint, it smells funny. Like when it's wet, it smells really strong. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the case with all the army paint and matte white paint for the other acrylic stuff. Because I can't think of any other ones that are like it. It's just this one specific one just smells really strong.
Without a spring that I shall ever see, for still there are so many things that I have never seen. In every wood, in every spring, there is a different green. I sit beside the fire and think of people long ago, and people who will see a world that I shall never know. But all the while I sit and think of times there were before, I listen for returning feet and voices at the door.
There we go. So that's what we need the white for. And then also want to do essentially her under dress. I don't know what you'd call it. Like the inner folds of the dress. It doesn't matter if we get some on the actual dress because we can always clean that later. He is determined just to play this one song.
Experience all the exquisite layers of Ferrero Rocher. The roasted, chopped hazelnuts, soft, creamy filling, and fine chocolate in a uniquely delicious bar. Enjoy the taste of Ferrero Rocher.
Unfortunately, this stream is not sponsored by Ferrero Rocher. I'd love it if it was. Imagine how much money they give. Even though I'm not a fan of Ferrero Rocher, but you know. Again, I am not opposed to shelling out for some companies. If the money is good enough. You know, Ferrero Rocher, I see the appeal of Ferrero Rocher, I just don't like it. Right, and then the only other part that we want to do in white, we will do later. We need the, we need the fine detail brush for it, but it's this little collar bit. And then, well, if we can, the belt as well around her midriff. So, I guess we can now do the inside part of Glorfindel's cloak. It's basically his under tunic part and belt and the like. Skin, hairs, and metallic parts, and then just clean up. And shade, and then they're done. Again, like, I spent a good day on the two mounted versions of them, but that was primarily just on the horse. Well, it was make sure the horses and also working out the paint schemes. Right. I do need my gold. Later. What else do I? What's the colour I use for the inner cloak? It's another blue. It's a lot of blues that I use. It's just different shades of blue. Glorfindel. It's essentially the middle between the frost blue that we use for his outer cloak and the ethereal blue that we use for his tunic, which is this one, gelatinous blue. Because my original plan was to do the entire cloak in this colour, and then I decided to do the outer cloak darker. because otherwise it's too similar. It's just like it's slightly lighter than the ethereal blue. It's essentially white. It's more very, very, very like off-white, like almost grey. As you can see. But it does dry blue. I hate when they interrupt music with adverts. But the way the YouTube ads now work is fucking stupid and very annoying.
She came again, and her song released the sudden spring, like rising lark and falling rain, and melting water bubbling.
I'm not going to do that side because the cloak is like folded. Like, I don't really have a way to demonstrate. I don't have my dressing gown with me. But, yeah, it's like folded over his shoulder. I would demonstrate with my dressing gown, but I don't have it in here. I can't be asked to go get it. But again, probably need another coat of that, but we can sort that later. So the next part will be right. his undercloak.
That fate them o'er stony mountains cold and grey.
So we want troll skin for the under tunic, and then Feywild Emerald for his belt.
The sun brings seas between them lay, and yet at last they met once more. And long ago they passed away in the forest singing sorrow.
Home. It's finding your style and knowing it's made to last. Because you don't just furnish a home, you grow one. Oak Furniture Land. Grow your home.
Colgate's best ever science for your optimal at-home whitening. Every smile deserves to shine.
Again, the stream is not sponsored by Oak Furniture House or whatever that other advert was. I have to preface it after every single fucking song. Reiterate it, I mean. Preface it.
Is behind the world ahead, and there are many
To be fair, there's not much of his undertuning that's visible on this version.
to the edge of night.
Basically just the parts around his leg.
The stars are all alight. Mist and shadow,
Which you can't really see very well.
cloud and shade, all shall fade, all
But all good. I think that's actually all that we can actually see that needs to be, other than that little bit. Actually, no, that's his armor. Yeah, that's chainmail. Okay, that's fine. We'll go over that later. Oh, and there's a bot in chat. Hello, bot. Beep boop magoop and all that. Beepy boop boop boop. I am not interested in purchasing viewers from you. Plus, well, can't even see the link that's there because I have it set to not allow links from people who aren't mods. For this very reason. Well, hour and a half of work. Well, about an hour of work. Basically done. Again, it's just that's the case of finishing off the last little bits, which isn't much. Let's do the other. Let's do the other last little bit on Glorfindel. Which is a bit of Feywild Emerald. on his belt, and there's essentially just going back over everything, doing any little bits of cleanup that need doing. No, we've done that song. We don't need that song again. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong about doing it like that. Yeah. Those bits get them white after. That's fine. Again, we'll clean up later. Right. It has to match. It has to match the mountain version. Doesn't matter if any ideas that I have now will look better. They have to match. Because otherwise it will look weird. Okay. I guess we can now do the skin parts. And then the metallic. Oh, my skin techniques. It's just to go over any parts of skin, as per usual. Oh. Fuck off, adverts. Good Christ.
flame trees like torches blaze with light. The bells will ring.
Go. And then we do the same with Glorfindel.
Dragons are more fierce than fire. They know their towers and houses frail. The mountains soared beneath the they heard the tramp of doom, the tramp of doom. They fled their home to dying fall beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains gray, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away ere break of day, to our arms and go far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old.
There we go.
Home. It's having a place to savor years of homemade moments. Because you don't.
Go away. I also just noticed it wasn't shuffled, even though I'm pretty sure I put it on shuffle before. Alright. Okay. So, it's now just metallic parts, hair, and clean up. So I guess we will do hair next. So, I debated a long time where it came to doing Arwen's hair. Because in some scenes she seems to be brunette. In others she seems to have black hair. And Liv Tyler is brunette. Right? However, I came to the decision, paint her hair, essentially do the opposite of what I did with Aragorn. So with Aragorn, it's black hair with strong tone or brown wash. Arwen is the opposite. Paint the hair brown and then apply a black wash. Which gives us that sort of hair. It's just very thick application of black wash. Right. So that's what we will do next. Alright. Too much bending down to get the paints. Did I use this brown or did I use a different brown? Should write it down. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Because this one is slightly darker than Bugbear brown. Because Bugbear brown is essentially just, you know, regular brown. This is Owlbear brown.
Of trees unfold when woodland halls are green and cool, and wind is in the west. Come back to me. Come back to and say my land is best.
When summer warms the hanging fruit and burns the berry brown, when straw is gold and here is white, and harvest comes to town, when honey spills and apple swells, the wind be in the west, I'll linger here beneath the sun, because my land is best.
When winter comes, the winter wild,
Oh, I missed a bit with the
and wood shall
dress.
slay. When trees shall fall and starless night devour the sunless day, when wind is in the deadly east, then in the bitter rain, I'll look for thee and call to thee. I'll come to thee again.
Winter comes and singing ends, when darkness falls at last, when broken is the barren bough, and light and labor past, I'll look for thee and wait for thee.
There we go. Again, a little bit cleanup needed, but that's inevitable when doing hair, especially long hair. I will also just, while it's still fresh in my brain,
Together we will take the road that leads into the west.
just get that bit of the dress that I missed.
We'll find a land where both our hearts may rest.
And then while it's on the brush, we may as well just...
Shop Etsy now and get up to 30% off Father's Day gifts, as unique as he is. Whether he's a music-loving dad who can't help take over the playlist, an outdoorsy dad who's always one step ahead.
Ah, where's my mouse? There we go. Yesabla, hello! Hello, Yesabla, hello, hello, how are you today? Hope you're doing well. Right. I need yellow for Glorfindel's hair. And then it's just the metallic parts. Clean up and shading, and then they're done for the day. I'm good. I'm very good. To be honest, painting didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. So, as I said, we've only got a few small jobs left to do on them, and then they're done, because I don't do highlights and stuff on stream, because the highlights aren't all that interesting for you guys to watch, because I need to be able to look at them properly, which I can't do with the streaming setup. Which is why I don't do them on stream. I basically do the base coats and the shading on stream, and then on YouTube, well, I show like the final results. I need to get into the habit of having the minis that we painted in previous streams still in here, as opposed to my other workbench, so I can actually show them at the start of the streams. But aside from that, I'm good. I'm good. I have a week off work, so I am taking that week to stream and just do a bunch of batch painting that I need to get done for the narrative campaign that me and girlfriend are working on, which is what these are for. But yes. We like doing painting on stream. We like doing painting just in general. Living the dream. Exactly. We've already had this song play. There you go. Shuffle doesn't quite work properly. Right. Yellow. We call me yellow. Is that supposed to be music at the moment? Oh, because I hit the volume wheel on my headphones with my leg as I was bending over. Again, I will eventually sort out an actual proper paint rack at some point. Not yet. Not yet. So yes, about do you paint minis? Like, do you do Warhammer stuff? What brings you here today? I think my yellow's starting to run out. These paints have lasted. A lot of these paints have lasted more than like 3 years, so they've done well. But they are starting to run out. Me and boyfriend are trying to get into minis, so I'm hopping around painting strips. To be fair, that's how I got into them. that's how I got into doing it. So I got into it through getting the pre-painted minis that they do for Dungeons and Dragons, and then for Valentine's Day a few years ago, my girlfriend got me this set, which is essentially just a basic colour set, brush and miniature, just to paint. And she was like, "Oh, I do," because she does like all artsy, fartsy stuff. And she was like, "Oh, I want something that you could do, so we can do it together." And started painting them up, and then through watching like painting tutorials, that eventually got me into like Warhammer stuff, and then eventually looking up how to build like terrain and stuff for D&D and Warhammer. I found a YouTube channel, Zorp, who focuses on doing the Lord of the Rings stuff. Games Workshop puts out, which is how I got into Warhammer when I was a child. Before I fell out of Warhammer because, well, I didn't have money back then. I was a child, and Warhammer's expensive, as opposed to D&D. It is how I got into D&D originally. I've told this story many times on stream, but essentially I started going to the Warhammer club at my school. Around this time was around when either 3.5 or 4th edition came out for D&D, and one of the guys there got the player's handbook and everything, brought that with him one week, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna run a campaign. We're just gonna do like a one-shot little test of the new D&D game. Anybody want to try?" And I was like, "Yes." Played it, and I was like, "This is awesome." And then I went, and then, you know, my parents were a lot more susceptible to the idea of buying like me 1 or 2 books a year for like 30 odd quid, as opposed to like, "Oh yes, I need to spend like over $1,000 on Warhammer for a competitive army." Whereas now I'm just like, fuck it, I'll spend basically all the money that I've made over the last year just on Lord of the Rings minis. Because these were how I got into Warhammer originally, because I got into the idea of Warhammer through the existence of the Middle Earth, like the Lord of the Rings game magazine that they did back in the day, which is how I found out that Warhammer was a thing. And then watching those videos from Zorp back when I had COVID a couple of years ago, it was like, "Oh my god, I remember this game." And then I found out, oh, they're bringing out a new box. I'ma buy it. So me and girlfriend have basically been playing through the narrative campaign that you can do for middle of strategy battle game. It's not very far, but that's what these models are for. Don't need any more hobbies, but minis look fun. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Because I mean, I've now gotten my girlfriend into doing it as well. She really enjoys painting models now, because she helps with like the batch painting, doing like the armies and stuff. I've also got her a few over the years where she's like, oh, this one looks pretty. No, she doesn't really care about how the game plays, but she's like, oh, I want to just... And also she's painting like a few models for like D&D games that I've done with her, where she's painted her characters and stuff. But it's good fun. It is good fun. It can be tedious. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's never tedious. It's never anything like that. No, it can be really bloody tedious. Like, when you've got to paint like 30 plus orcs. Oh, it's the most painful thing. It's me asking for cute Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to get her into Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! As well when I was a child. And then, but she hasn't bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards yet. But me and her do play occasionally on Master Duel, just as a way to like show her the game, and so that way she can try it. She does, however, do collect Pokemon cards. She has no idea how to play it. She has no idea how to play the Pokemon TCG. And to be fair, I haven't played Pokemon TCG since, like... Well, I never played the physical Pokemon TCG. I used to have the Game Boy Color game. So, like, I know the rules for the Pokemon TCG from when it was, like, Fossil, I think, was the last pack that was in the Game Boy game. Maybe. It was whichever one was like the one that had the last of the original 150. Which might have been Fossil. It was either Fossil or Forest, I don't know. So I have no idea how like Mega Evolutions work. It's like, oh, EVV Max, and I'm like, the fuck does that mean? She's there like, oh, how does this card work? And I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how you play VMAX stuff. I'm assuming it's like you play an EV and then you like put EV VMAX on the top. But I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm going by the rules as they were 20 plus years ago, so. And to be fair, it's the same for me with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I've tried to get my head around how pendulum summoning works in Yu-Gi-Oh! And like link summoning and all that. Nope! It was like, Synchros and XZs were complicated enough. Because I last played Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly. Like, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively back during like GOAT format and up through to about halfway through GX. And then I tried getting back into it because I took a break from it just for the sake of money. And also because a lot of my friends like started to grow out of it and move on to like Magic Gathering or whatever. Those like stuck around in like the TCG world. And then they were like, oh, I'll go back to the friendly local game shop that I used to play. Yeah. And like, oh, I play this, now I play this, now I play this. And I'm like, you only get one summon per turn, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm there with my old, like, dragon deck, where it's just like, yeah, my deck relies on, like, you just bring out the big guns and beat the shit out of them. There's like big dragons, cool. With like a few little dragons and some support and a couple fusions. And it's like, oh, I play this, then I play this, then I play this, and then I can synchro summon them into this. And I'm like, the fuck does synchro summoning mean? What is this? I don't like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I really don't like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't like the way it's just like, oh, you like if your opening hand isn't as good as your opponent's opening hand, you just lose. And it's like, that doesn't sound like fun. I prefer old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like you can actually have a proper back and forth with them. I don't know. Don't understand any of that. No, fair. Fair. Like, I really don't get modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't get the appeal of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was created partly because it was through the manga, but it was designed to be a simpler, a trading card game that was simple so kids could get into it, because Magic has always been a bit complicated. Like, for people looking at it from the outside, it's like, what the fuck does any of this mean? Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, back in the day, it was nice and simple, which meant kids could play it, which is why it was very popular with kids. And then Pokemon has even simpler rules, because Pokemon was designed, like, the game of Pokemon was designed second to the cards. Like, the entire point of Pokemon was just like, oh, you just collect it. Like, most people who collected Pokemon back in the 90s, no fucking clue how the game was played. You had maybe like one kid at the school who knew how the game was played. But most people were just like, oh, I know Pokemon because of the anime and because of, other stuff. And also Yu-Gi-Oh! Had that going for it as well. Like, the rules, like, the first series of the anime was useless for teaching how to play the game. But you could watch, like, Battle City onwards and get an idea of how the game played. Yeah, and then, but Magic the Gathering didn't have that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, it was designed to be simple for that reason. Because it was designed to sell to children. It was me just watching the shows. Exactly. Like, Magic the Gathering is starting to get stuff. I know there's been talk of like a Netflix show or something like that. I don't know if that's come out yet. But that's based on like the lore and stuff like that. And I'm just sat there like, who the fuck gives a shit about the lore of Magic the Gathering? It's like, I'm sure there's people who do. But it's like, you look at Warhammer, the lore of Warhammer kind of feeds into it all. Like, you read the rulebook for Warhammer, which is up there, and the lore is right there. And it's like, oh, okay, this is cool. And it's like, oh, if you want to explore more, read the Horus Heresy, read the Infinite of the Divine, read whatever the hell. It's the same with D&D. Like, all of these books, just grabbing one off the shelf, this book is half campaign book, half lore about Icewind Dale. And it's like, if you want to explore more about the lore, go read the books. And there's books for all the different settings, like Dragonlance and shit. But I have never met anyone who plays Magic the Gathering who gives a rat's ass about the lore. I know a lot of people who play Warhammer who read the books. I'm one of them. Now. I didn't used to be, but I am now. because just on a whim, I used an Audible credit last month to get the first Horus Heresy book. Started listening to it, and I was like, oh, this is quite cool. And then I listened to a little bit of The Infinite and Divine, and that's what I'm going to use my Audible credit for this month. Because I'm like, this is my jam. Plus, it's Necrons. It's like, yay! Isn't there a million cards? Why would you keep up Magic the Gathering lore? I think the lore of Magic the Gathering is one of those things. I think it's one of those ones where it's a bit like Star Wars, where the lore appears to be like as wide as an ocean, but it's actually as deep as a puddle. Which is why I keep saying about Star Wars now, especially nowadays. And this is coming from someone who fucking loves Star Wars. The first thing I did, like, I didn't buy Warhammer models at first. I bought a few D&D models, and then I was like, my friendly local game store has Star Wars minis. I'ma buy them. Like, my problem with Star Wars is, I think it's the same with Magic the Gathering, where everything revolves around, like, 5 people. It's a bit like World of Warcraft, where you have just all these different cards, whatever. But all you need to worry about are, like, these 5 characters. Again, this is coming from someone who's never read Magic the Gathering lore. This is coming from someone who's barely played Magic the Gathering and couldn't give less of a toss about it. Like, most of my experience with Magic the Gathering lore comes from the crossovers with D&D that I've done. Where it's like, oh, here's a source book for Ravnica. Here's a source book for Pharos. And I'm just there like, I don't care! But there's some cool stuff in it, so I'ma buy it anyway. But I don't care about any of the world stuff. Like, I don't care about the setting, I don't care about the lore. I am here strictly for the cool ass creatures that you've got in here. It's like, oh, Pharos is a, like, ancient Greece myth kind of style campaign setting for Magic the Gathering and now D&D. Neat! I'ma buy that. I don't give about any of the other stuff. Solid reasoning. Yeah, exactly. Also, it comes like the other reason why I own those books stems from just the inner completionist in me, and the fact that I have all but 3 of the 5th edition D&D books, with the exception of the crossover stuff that you can't buy anymore, like the Rick and Morty starter box and the Stranger Things starter box. I don't have them because I don't care enough. I like Stranger Things. I like the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. Haven't watched season 4. I like I used to like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty kind of disappeared up its own arse in the later seasons, and to be honest, the fan base hasn't helped. I'm weird. I like stuff, but I complain a lot. But yeah, Rick and Morty got popular, and it knows that it got popular, and it's just like, and the fan base is the worst. Like, it's not the worst fan base out there, but it's pretty up there. Speaking of which, fandoms is the fucking worst. Right, that should have killed enough time for the paint to dry. Right, what am I doing? Metallic stuff. Right. Metallic stuff, and then clean up, and then shades, and then they're done. Alright. I need my silver. I might have to go get my other bottle of gunmetal, because I don't know how much is left in this bottle. Sorry for distracting. Ah, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Gotta wait for the paint to dry anyway. Whoop. Right. So, silver, simply for chainmail, gauntlets, and the swords as well. Also, just saying, if you want to get into a tabletop war game, Middle-earth strategy battle game is not a bad shout. If you like Lord of the Rings stuff, I stand by the argument that Middle-earth strategy battle game is the best rule system that Games Workshop has ever created, and they don't do enough love for it. Though we are getting a new supplement later this year, possibly. Possibly later this year, possibly early next year. We don't know the release date of it all yet. But we're getting some shit for Arnor, which is very cool. Ow. But no, painting miniatures is very fun. It is very fun, and it is very, very, very relaxing. Tabletop games intimidate me, but I do like Lord of the Rings. It's very easy to pick up. It's very, very, very simple to pick up the rules system for it. It's the best rule system they've ever made, simply because it's simple. Like, I've tried teaching my girlfriend how to play numerous tabletop games, and a lot of them she's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I played about 2 games of Middle-earth strategy battle game with her, and she's like, oh, I get it. Like, halfway through the second game, she was like, I get how this works now. And she does not pick up rule systems very easily. Unless she has like some sort of other way to pick it up. Like, she's only just now starting to understand how D&D really works now that she's been playing Baldur's Gate. / watching me play Baldur's Gate on stream. Has helped her learn how to play it. Obviously, I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier to get into tabletop games, because especially if you own Tabletop Simulator, you can give it a go, because a lot of Warhammer stuff is on Tabletop Simulator for free, so you can just try it. But I will recommend some YouTube channels to you if you want to have a watch. Which how I actually learned how to play this game is just watching people on YouTube. Planet Mithril is a very, very, very good channel for well, Planet Mythful and Zorpazorp are, in my opinion, the two best channels for Middle-earth strategy battle game stuff. Zorpazorp does a lot of like big battles and terrain. And then Planet Mythful mostly focuses on painting guides, but he also does battle reports. And he's also been working his way through the same narrative campaign that me and the girlfriend have been doing. And watching his videos is basically how I learned how to play the game.
Breaking news. Duracell, the official
And obviously there are,
It's time for a
and then for Warhammer itself, Play on Tabletop is probably the best channel for learning how to play Warhammer. And they've also done some Middle-earth strategy battle game videos. As far as I'm aware, they've only done 2. One was relatively recent, because they did one for when the new starter box came out, and then they did another a couple weeks ago. But now, Lord of the Rings is awesome. Gotta like Lord of the Rings. I might do some battle reports at some point on my YouTube channel as well. Somewhere in the future when I work out how. Outside of just like doing it on tabletops, so. Which is always an option. Because working out how to do the painting streams and logistics and stuff for that was hard enough, let alone doing an actual battle report video and making it look good. That's the main thing. Because I can always just point a camera at my dining room table and just say, go! But that wouldn't be the most interesting way to do it. Then watch it. That's all the metallic parts done. So, they are almost completely base coated. There's one final part. Technically works. Yeah, it would technically work, but it wouldn't be the most interesting way of doing it. Essentially, my idea at the moment would be to do it with a GoPro. I don't know how that would work. I probably wouldn't do them on stream. That's probably never going to happen. Again, outside I like doing it on tabletops then. But it's not the same. Like, I'm one of those people who prefers painting the models to playing. Aside from Middle-earth strategy battle game. I fucking love Middle-earth strategy battle game. And D&D, obviously. Though a lot of the time, most of my D&D games nowadays are done digitally through Fantasy Grounds and Roll20. But anyway, I do like my models. You can't really see them very well because of the ring light, but I do have some D&D mirrors out on my shelf there behind me. I need to decide what the next painting stream will be. I mean, at the moment, the plan is a Wildwild Chieftain, and possibly the Cave Troll as we get into Moria stuff. Because the reason why we're doing these is for the scenario where Arwen in the films, Glorfindel in the books, brings Frodo to Rivendell. Or, if we're doing by the Ralph Bakshi animated version, Legolas does it. Because Glorfindel is not important enough to be in an adaptation. I don't even think he's in the radio play. Is Glorfindel in the BBC radio play from back in the day? I think they cut Gildor from it because Gildor really fucking don't matter. Like, I'm amazed Gildor even exists in the middle of a strategy battle game as a model. I think that's like the one adaptation Gildor's ever been in, outside of like maybe Lord of the Rings Online. Is Glorfindel in the BBC radio play? Hang on. Google will tell me. Lord of the Rings radio play. Let me have a look. Lord of the Rings 1981 radio series. Here we go. Does it have the cast on? Huh? It does have the cast. Okay. Narrator Gerard Murphy, Frodo, Ian Holm, which when I realised that when I got my CD versions of the radio play and I had it on and I had the cast list on the back of the box, it's like, oh, Ian Holm was Frodo in this, and it's like, oh, and then he was Bilbo later. That's neat. So we have Gandalf, Michael Horden, Aragorn, Robert Stevens. Also, as well, Sam Gamgee is played by Bill motherfucking Nighy in the radio play, which made me get ecstatic when I realised that. Mary, Richard O'Callaghan, Pippin, John Andrew, Legolas, David Collins, Gimli, Douglas Livingstone, Boromir, Michael Graham Cox. Michael Cox is Boromir. Oh, I didn't know that. Galadriel, Celeborn, Arwen, Saruman, played by Peter Howell. He is very good at Saruman, by the way. Elrond, Hugh Dickinson, John Lemuelsier, or however the fuck you pronounce that. Peter Woodthrop as Gollum. Theoden, Grima, Eowyn. Paul Brook is Grima. Huh, didn't know that. Stephen Thorne's Treebeard, Denethor, Lord of the Nazgul. Oh no, Glorfindel is in this. It's played by John Webb. I'm not seeing Gildor. Gwai here, Radagast, Gaffer. No? Yeah. Okay, so Glorfindel is in this. Ah, I forgot that. Well, clearly I need to re-listen to this. To be fair, it has been a while. It's been a while since I read the books as well. I need to reread the books. One of my 4 copies of Lord of the Rings. So I have the old hardback version from way back in the day that used to be my dad's, which I now don't touch. That's how I originally read it. I don't touch that book anymore because it's old and it's kind of disintegrating. I have the version that came out when the movies came out, like, you know, the one where it's like on the cover it's got the poster and stuff. And then I have the which is like my travel copy of it because it's paperback, and then I have the newer collected version, and then I have three copies of the audiobooks because I have the abridged version. No, 4 copies, possibly. I know I have 3. I might have 4 because I used to have an abridged version of the books on tape. I have the radio drama. I have the audiobooks on. I have physical copy of the audiobooks, and I have them on Audible as well. Not the version that they brought out a couple of years ago with Andy Serkis reading it, but the older version read by I don't remember. I don't remember. And the same goes for The Hobbit. I like Lord of the Rings. Sue me. I am, however, missing the One Ring RPG. I don't own that, but I will in time. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Yezabla. Thank you very. No, my paint. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very, very, very much for the follow. Go. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks for your Not a problem. Not a problem at all. That's why I'm here. I'm just here to bitch and moan about the lack of love for Lord of the Rings, for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. But yeah, it's not a problem at all. I do hope you enjoyed what you watched of the stream, and good luck. Good luck to yourself and your boyfriend getting into all of this weird ass world of painting miniatures. I hope your wallet doesn't hate you too much for it, because mine fucking does. I don't even want to think how much money I've spent on minis over the last couple of years. And most of it is Lord of the Rings models. There we go. So that's his crown done. Right. Tiny little bit of cleanup needed to do on his cloak. But outside of that, they are mostly done. Oh, that needs to be pink. And there's like a little bit of what needs to be done on it. Yeah, now that it's all done, it looks good. I like him. He is a very good model. He is a very good model for such a nothing character. Well, that's a lot. Like, Glorfindel is not a nothing character. Like, he's one of those minor characters where it's like, okay, I can, for those people who are like, oh, Glorfindel's my favourite character in Lord of the Rings, it's like, I can kind of see that. I mean, one of my favourite characters is Farmer Maggot, because he tells a Nazgul to fuck off. It's like, that lad. Yes. And also, just the fact that I'm pretty sure in the Scaring of the Shire, the one part of the Shire that never gets taken over by Saruman and his, like, band of ruffians is Farmer Maggot's farm. Because they try and take it over, and he's just... I seem to recall reading a bit in the book. Again, it's been a while since I last read the books. But I'm pretty sure it's like... They go to his farm to try and take it over, and he's just sat with his scythe and his dog by his foot, and he's like, fucking try it. Come on then. Who wants to go first? Because I ain't shifting. Right, this is the lad. He's a hobbit, bear in mind. Who... This is the part that annoys me about the film. I ranted about this while doing the Farmer Maggot paint stream a while back. In the film, he's a fucking pussy. I get why they did it that way, because it's like, oh, we need to establish that the Nazgul are like a major threat. And are like intimidating as hell just from their presence. Where I think it's Kamul shows up at Farm Maggot's farm. Yeah, the whole Shire Baggins. That bit. And he's like, oh, there's no Baggins here, they're out in Hobbiton. Oh, it's that way. Oh, I'm gonna hide in my home. In the book, he does still say, oh, there's no Baggins around here, you're gonna want to switch over by Hobbiton. He then follows that up with, now get the fuck off my land or I'll set my dogs on you. It's like, that guy. Best character. And he, you know, he helps the hobbits get out of the Shire. Because he's like, look, that Black Rider, he's trouble. I got a bad feeling about him. And whoever he's looking for is in major trouble, I feel. It sounds like that's you, Master Baggins, so... Best stay the night here instead of travelling on the road tonight. And I'll take you down to... And I'll take you down to the ferry on me wagon tomorrow.
Home.
It's
like,
he's a cool dude.
Years of homemade moments. Because you don't just furnish a home, you grow one. Oak Furniture Land. Grow your home.
Like, he is by far the most badass hobbit in Lord of the Rings. And that's a series where, you know, Sam, Gamgee, Frodo Baggins, Meriadoc Brandybuck, and Peregrine Token Bilbo Baggins exists. But none of them tell a ringwraith straight to its face, get the fuck off my land. No one else in the entire series of books except for Dain. And even then, Dain doesn't tell a ringwraith to fuck off. He tells the mouth of Sauron to fuck off, but not a ringwraith. No other character in any other books tells a ringwraith straight to its face, fuck off. Except Farmer Maggot. And that is why Farmer Maggot is awesome. He's the best. Like, the closest we get is when Gandalf... Like, there's two other kind of instances of that. One is when the Witch King comes through the gate of Minas Tirith and Gandalf is like, go away. Turn around and go away. And it's like, no. But it doesn't break his staff, because that is nonsense. Like, I get that it's like, oh, he was like empowered by Sauron or whatever fucking shit they explain off screen. But no, the Witch King does not have the power to break Gandalf's staff. I guess it's only a bit from the extended edition, but still. Like, no. Just no. The Witch King is a dude. He's a ghost. Yes, he's a spectre. Well, he's a wraith. But he's not on the same level as Gandalf. Gandalf's a demigod. Like, the only thing in... Like, that's why he's able to kill a Balrog in single combat. Because he's on the same level as a Balrog. And yet, the Balrog kills him in the process, because Gandalf does die. And no one ever say that Gandalf doesn't die during that fight with the Balrog. Because he does. Like... I know it's like nitpicky thing where it's like, oh, it's a cool moment. And the Witch King is like, he breaks the staff. I get why, because it's like, oh, it's to establish the Witch King is a big threat. But it's like, but it doesn't make sense though. How? I read the book. How does the Witch King break Gandalf's staff in the film? He just does. Don't make sense, but it happens. Right. Do we need another coat on the inner clip? I don't think we do, to be fair. All we need is a little bit more skin on his neck bit that I missed there. And we need to go over that Arwen's collar with a detailed brush and some white. But aside from that, I think quite confident in saying that they're done. I do kind of wish her sword wasn't Ben. It's a 20-year-old metal miniature. In fact, more than 20 years old. These minis came out in 2001, so... Well, Arwen did. Glorfindel, I think, came... Glorfindel came a bit later. I don't know when Glorfindel came out. Does it say on his base? His base is copyrighted 2005. That does sound about right, to be fair, because that would have been around the Big Blue Book. Which, I'm pretty sure Glorfindel was one of, like, the big releases for that, when they started doing stuff that wasn't in the films. Because at first, I'm pretty sure they only had the rights to do stuff from the films. And then, in the years between Return of the King
Experience all
finishing
the exquisite layers of
and
Ferrero Rocher.
The Hobbit starting coming out,
Roasted chopped hazelnuts,
they started
soft,
doing
creamy filling,
the
and
book
fun.
only stuff.
Baby Demexa. Cleanse and
Because I think they have some book only stuff in the Return of the King rulebook, actually, when they like was first started looking at that, because that was where I think that's when they brought out like Radagast, maybe Tom, maybe, and like some of the Shire-y stuff. I think, I don't know. I know they did. I know after Return of the King happened, and they brought up that line, that's when they started doing the book only stuff, because that's when we get into like, that's where, because one of the first like releases they did after that was Scouring the Shire, and then they started doing like the made up shit. Well, not made up stuff, but it's like, okay, we want to embellish a little bit. And that's where you get like the Shadow and Flame source book with the Moria stuff, and like others. I think I don't know when Glorfindel first like appeared in the Middle Earth strategy battle game, but I know he was among the first ones to be like, oh, he's a book only character, but he's an important enough book character that he can be in the miniatures game. It's like him and Tom and Goldberry and the Barrow Whites and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Arwen was one of the first models that they brought out. Well, actually, no, she wasn't, actually, because in the Fellowship of the Ring rulebook, which I have up there, the original book, which has the profiles for the models that existed back then, there's like the photos of the models, and if they didn't have the model ready, they just use a screenshot from the films, which they do for Arwen, a few of the evil characters. I don't even think Celeborn gets a screenshot. Galadriel might be one, maybe, but she was like in that lot, but she might have been one of the last ones from Fellowship to come out in terms of like heroes. Again, I don't know. I'm just going off of what's in the book. And there's no Arwen model advertised in that book. But I know that the Arwen model existed by the time Two Towers came out, because there is a photo of the model in that book. Because I don't think they even had Sauron back when that book came out. I don't even think Sauron has a profile in that book. I think Sauron might have been one of the later models. I don't know if he came out between the Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers, but he's not in that book, because the Battle of the Last Alliance scenario in that book doesn't include Sauron. It's essentially just like, okay, use the elves and the Men of Gondor that you get in the Star Box, and then just have some goblins to stand in for the orcs. And if you want to add like Elendil, Isildur, Elrond, even then, Elendil and Isildur might not have been a thing back then. Hang on, let me have a look. And I have this because I got the original starter box off of eBay a month ago for like 30 quid. It's all brand new. Everything was on the sprue. Cost me about... No, it wasn't even 30 odd quid. It was like 30 quid with postage. Let me have a look-see. I would put it on the thing, but I don't want to, like, you know, knock out. I don't want to get it wet with the water. Shorten face. Where's the...
Little super fresh fruit is winning it for free. Win with every spin with your little plus app.
I don't even think there is a Last Alliance scenario in here. There's the Close Encounter scenario, which, like, the example game that they did, which uses the stuff from the starter box. It's just, oh, it's some elves, some goblins, and the Men of Gondor, and the terrain is the stuff from the book, not the book, box. Go nuts. And you get Weathertop, Balin's Tomb, Richard Khazad-dûm, Lothlorien, Amateur Amon Hen. Oh, here we go, the Last Alliance. Last Alliance is... Oh, Gil-galad, Elendil, and Isildur and Elrond did exist at this point then. 24... Well... 48 Men of Gondor and 48 elves. So essentially the starter box and another box of the Last Alliance set, and then the heroes. Opposing 240 orcs! The fuck? Jesus! Fucking hell. And then the olives and the Gladden Fields. That's cool. I didn't know they had a scenario based off of this. There's the when Isildur dies. So you have Isildur with the ring, 24 Men of Gondor against 2 orc captains and 40 orcs. Sword have seen, and horror in the halls of stone. Look at last on meadows green, and trees and hills. It's cool. There goes into like building stuff. So I'm guessing Sauron just doesn't have a profile in this book. I'm assuming that's good. So, evil heroes in this book are the Ringwraiths. Yep. Lurtz, the Balrog, who doesn't have a model at this point. Oh no, he did. I think it's just too big to show in this book. Saruman, the Orc Captain, Moria Goblin Captain, and the Uruk-hai Captain. So yeah, there's no Sauron. Then goes into painting models, doing terrain, which is really cool. That's cool. This is such a cool book. I love this book. Done terrain. I mean, it is one of those ones where it's like, yeah, it doesn't actually explain how they made the terrain. It's just like, oh yeah, we started with foam, and then we built some hills. Do that. It's like, alright, how? Not going to tell you. Here's a photo. Here's a photo of what it should look like when it's done.
home. It's having a place to save
Yeah.
years of
Yeah, there was no Sauron at this
Because
point.
you
I don't know
just
when
furnish
Sauron
a
existed.
grow one. Oak Furniture Land. Grow your home.
But he's not
Need a
in
thank you
this
gift?
book.
Don't panic. Gift easy with gift mode. New on Etsy.
He wasn't one of the first ones, which is weird, because you think he would be. Now you think it would be the case of, oh well, if there's models of Elendil and Isildur, there'd be a model of Sauron, right? Nope. Ow! There is one now. There's a very nice model of Sauron now. Very, very, very nice metal model. I don't own it yet, but I will. Eventually. Alright. Final job in terms of base coat. Just tiny little bit of clean up when it comes to the skin. What time is it? It is 4:10. Alright. So we should be done by 5 o'clock. If we keep on like this. It's not bad time-wise. Out of curiosity, has anybody watched or listened to the Lord of the Rings musical? Maybe I should play that in terms of the music. I might do that on the next stream. Give the Calvani de Profundus stuff a break. Do and have the Lord of the Rings stage musical playing. I mean, what I would do, you know, if I could, without risking the fucking BBC coming at me immediately. I don't say immediately, but they probably will. Is just like play the radio drama, and over the course of painting all these minis, we listen to the radio drama. That's what I would do if I could get away with it copyright-wise. But I can't, so I won't risk it. Like, that is very, very, very much definitely not gonna work in terms of copyright. Like, there's no way in hell I'll get away with doing that without at least a copyright strike on my channel. And if I can, like if I did get away with that, I'd be fucking amazed. But it's not gonna happen. Be cool though. I wonder if I could get away with listening to an audio book on her. I'd have to look that up. I'd have to look up whether or not I could. I guess it depends on the audiobook. to avoid.
CDkeys.com. Shop the latest games and
I wish our hands weren't there. I wish you didn't come in one piece. I wish I could have done some assembly. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I wonder if I could get away with doing that, actually. The audiobook idea. I'm going to assume not. Like, I'm just going to assume I can't. Have a look. Because obviously copyrighted music is a no-go, but... Listen to audiobooks on Twitch. There you go. When is this though? Eight years ago.
Buried deep, beyond all towers strong and high, beyond all mountains steep.
Yeah, it's very much against copyright law.
Shadows rides the sun, and stars forever dwell. I will not say the day is done, nor bid the stars farewell.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
breaking news. Duracell, the official burger of Williams Racing. It's time for a power boost. I gotta train harder. Whoa! Power boost activate.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. Yeah, basically looking online, it's very much just like, probably not. Be cool though. Be cool. I couldn't even, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's up in the air as to whether or not you can even read books on stream. Because it's like, oh, if you're, like, whoa, shit. You know, it's that whole argument of like, well, if you're making money off of it,
Now the horse and the rider. Where is the horn that was blowing?
even though one of the ideas I've had for doing the stream is, you know, late night streams where I just sit and read a book out loud. No. If I had a green screen, then I'd have like a green screen fire and stuff going and just sit in this chair and read a book. I might try that at some point, maybe. I might see if I can get away with it. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, well, the author should get compensated because it's like an illegal audiobook. It's like, by that logic, like me reading the text in like a Final Fantasy game, poor example, surely that falls under the same sort of system.
Or behold the flowing years from the sea return.
I'd also, in some weird way, kind of treat that as like a way to be like, maybe I could get an actual audiobook under my belt. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that works, like in terms of like applying to do an actual audiobook. I think we're ready to do shading now. Keyword there, being think. And final look over them. But I am, I think, quite content enough to say yes, I think they're done. Yes. Yes. Right. Get the shades out. Right. I need the skin tone shade. Just on the other side. The box. And then once finished doing this, I will
Shop Etsy now and get up to
pass you guys on over elsewhere, do some cleanup, and then get myself ready to hopefully do D&D tonight. I think. Speaking of which, bear with me.
The world was young, the mountains green, no stay yet was seen. No words were laid on stream or stone during walk and walked alone. We named the nameless hills and dells. gems upon the silver thread above the shadows of his head. The world is grey, the mountains old, the forges fire, no heart is wrong, no hammer falls, the darkness dwells into his bones.
Tiny little bit of metal that got on his thumbs. There we are. As usual, we just let it seep into into the recesses. Namely around the eyes and fingers are the main spots that we want.
Cold be hand and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. Cold be hand and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. Never more to wake on stony bed. Never till the sun fails and the moon is dead. In the black wind the stars shall die, and still on gold here let them lie. In the black wind the stars shall die, and still on gold here let them lie.
There we go. That's all the skin done. And Arwen gets mostly dark tone on her. And then Glorfindel gets strong tone on him. Nice and simple. Because we want to... Because again, the look that we go for Arwen is kind of the look that she has when she rescues, when she turns up in the film originally. Which is more of a like dark blue outfit, but again the girlfriend didn't like it. She's like, no, purple. I want her to have the purple outfit she has on. you know, with a little bit of hint of the dark stuff. So that is what we do. That is what we do.
Home.
Especially around her hair. You want her hair very, very, very dark.
Oak furniture land. Grow you.
And I fucking love the new phonetic shades. They are lovely. And they make such a difference just immediately. You can just see the difference as soon as it goes on. Again, we're just going to coat the entire model.
Days ended, dim my eyes, but journey long before.
Just being cautious around the skin parts.
The ships beside the stony wall.
Foam is white and waves are grey. Beyond the sunset leads my way.
Foam is salt, the wind is free. I hear the rising of the sea. Farewell, friends, the sails are set. The wind is east, the moorings friend. Shadows long before me lie beneath the ever-bending sky. But islands lie behind the sun that I shall raise ere all is done. Lands that are to west of west, where night is quiet and sleep is rest.
Guided by the lonely star, beyond the
Okay. And that will basically just hunt out, for those that don't know how shades paints work, that will just essentially hunt all of the like areas around the model, like all the non-flat parts of the model. So like all of the recesses, anything like that. I essentially just darken them down, just to create the shadows that we want on them. And then we're going to do the same on Glorfindel with a strong tone, which is a bit more brown as opposed to the dark tone that we just used on Arwen, which is very much black. And then that will be the final job for today. Well, there's one exception. We're going to use dark tone again on the sword, because otherwise if we use this on it, it will give it a more rusted appearance, which we don't want.
We formed the running group in Japan. Jean's idea. Been a few months now. She's working on her endurance in Portugal. Colin smashed his 5k and I bought a new couch.
Go with me.
Surely sending all this is costing her a fortune.
Actually, with Tesco Mobile, Gina has no EU roaming fees this year.
I'd like some of that.
Extra gum. Chew good.
Whoops. This is the problem with this model. It's really difficult to hold it, because the cloak kind of overhangs the base a bit. Which, you know, would be circumvented if I had a way to hold my minis. Which I do. I do have like a little holder for them. I just don't like using it, because I don't think it works very well. That's probably the only thing in terms of like my painting hobby supplies stuff that I regret buying, is a little like holder thing that I have. Yeah, essentially we want to avoid all of the metallic parts. We just want to hit all of his outfit. We want to avoid any parts that are skin or metal. Except for the crown. The crown can be hit with it. And then that just leaves the metallic parts, which we want to do with the dark tone that we used on Arwen. Because again, otherwise it will give it a more rusted appearance, because obviously it's brown paint, which we don't want on Glorfindel. It works fine on like orcs, and we're going to use it a lot on the goblins, but we don't want it on our elven armor. go. It's just a little bit that I missed with the brown. Just at the top there. It's fine.
Tap the card. Okay. Actually, you're going to have to insert that one. Pop your pin in. You removed that too fast. If you just wait for the beep this time. Not that beep. Just pop your card in one more time and wait for that beep. It's like a beep, not a beep.
There we go. So those will dry overnight. Leave them overnight to dry and then come in with some, I'll do some highlights and sort out the bases and everything. Probably after the stream tomorrow. But, you know, for what is essentially 3 hours work, it's not bad. Gonna be a lot of highlighting work done on Arwen's face. But that's easily done. And then Glorfindel. You know, all in all, I'm happy with them. I'm very happy with them. I hope my girlfriend appreciates the Arwen one. Because the Arwen one is mostly for her. And also because we need an Arwen for the campaign. Glorfindel probably won't be used during the campaign. Because my girlfriend hasn't read the book. And you know, she wants to use Arwen. So we'll most likely do the Arwen version of the scenario. Which is how the scenario is actually written. It just has like a little aside at the end of the scenario. Just like, hey, if you want to do the book version of this moment where Glorfindel shows up instead of Arwen, go right ahead. Here's how you do it. But that involves... I think you don't actually use Glorfindel on his horse. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, because in the book, Glorfindel doesn't carry Frodo. He sends Frodo on ahead on Asphalloth and then hangs back with... and it essentially acts as a guide for Aragorn, Merry and Pippin. Even though Aragorn knows where Rivendell is, so... But Frodo don't. Oh, I mean, Asphalloth carries Frodo. Ooh. Asphalloth knows where Rivendell is, but... whatever. So you don't actually use the mounted version of Glorfindel. But, speaking personally, if I ever do a Fantasy Fellowship campaign, I might use Glorfindel for it, I don't know. Also, there's other scenarios that involve Glorfindel. I really like Glorfindel. Glorfindel's cool. But Arwen will definitely see a fair bit of use because the girlfriend likes Arwen. So that Arwen model will probably see a lot of use over the coming months and years, not just in the one Flights of the Force scenario. Again, she'll probably, if we ever do a Fantasy Fellowship campaign, I guarantee Arwen will be one of them. And she'll also just use her in other little scenarios. Any excuse she has. Because she likes Arwen. But yeah. So that is Arwen and Glorfindel. About 90% done. As I said, for those where this is your first paint stream mine that you've watched, I don't do the highlights or anything like that on stream, because it won't be interesting for you guys. You guys will not see anything because I paint the highlights like that, pretty much. There's no way I could do it on stream. So that's why without it, just being you guys are watching me paint, like that, so you guys can't actually see the model. The entire stream will be the bad parts of the paint streams where you guys can't see the models because I'm having to take them out from under the camera so I can actually see what I'm doing properly. I'm doing the details and stuff. And then I'll do like the bases and stuff like that. And I'll show you guys the finished results. Obviously on YouTube, you guys will see the finished results in a moment. But for those watching on Twitch, I will show you guys the finished results during the next stream. I will have to remind myself of that. But I will also, post them on the Discord and the Instagram and everything like that. Anyway, so, those of you watching on YouTube, thank you. Thank you for watching through the last 3 hours. I haven't actually taken a break all through this. So I just got into it. But yeah, so not much editing to do on this one. It's just cut off the opening and all this. But yeah, so those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping. Thanks for watching. Stick around because I will show you guys the finished result of the models now. Hello YouTube. Hello YouTube. So, as per usual, we have the again we could stay there. I will eventually sort out this setup in time, maybe. But yes, so we have, as per usual, the finished result to show you folks. Let's have a look-see. Let us have a look-see. Right, so it has taken a few days longer than I would have liked to get this done, but it doesn't really affect you guys because this was always going to go up on Monday anyway. Anyway, so first up we have our boy Glorfindel. There's a bit of highlighting work done on him. Usual stuff, just the face, as well as getting a bit on the raised parts of the cloak, a little bit on the hair, and a little bit on the cloak, mostly on the cloak, as you can see, just to add some definition to it all, and then also just brightening the sword back up. And then the other model, Arwen. So Arwen, a bit less on her, mostly just again going back over the sword and skin, and then went over all the raised parts of her cloak, just brightening that back up, as well as her hair, and then obviously just black on the base along with the grass. So yes, that is another batch done. That covers every single model that we need up through to Rivendell with the forming of the Fellowship. So we're a fair few bits ahead in terms of the actual scenarios that we are doing. As previously noted, we haven't even done the Tom Bombadil scenario yet because still working on terrain for that. That's the next hobby job, and then it's on to the shit show that will be Weathertop. Oh, that's going to be fun. But yes, so for the next painting stream, which will be sometime next month, I don't know when, I'm going to work out the schedule for the next few weeks when it comes to streaming in a moment. We have the beginnings of our journey through the long dark of Moria, as it were. So that will cover our boys, the Wild Wag Chieftain, who has been primed in brown because I've learnt my lesson from the Build a Pony painting stream. It's just, well, if the model's mostly brown, just prime it fucking brown. Like, half the job's done on him. And then the other model for the next painting stream will be the Cave Troll. Yes, who is worryingly not very well glued on the base. Because he's a heavy bastard. He's a big solid chunk of metal. There is also... I will also possibly do the Moria Goblin Captains that stream, or I might do an entire stream just for them. And then the Watcher in the Water and the Balrog, I've still undecided as to whether or not I'm going to be doing a paint stream for them. I'm planning to do the Balrog on stream. I don't know about the Watcher in the Water because I don't have it yet. I know it's a big bastard, so I don't know how well it'll work in terms of the setup. But I tested the Balrog on the camera the other day. It seems to work alright. So, yes. But I don't currently have the Goblin Captains, so that's why I'm not sure whether they will be in the next stream, because my original plan was to do them with the Cave Troll. But I don't have them. And none of the places that I buy models from have them in stock. So, at the moment, I have every other model for Fellowship of the Ring, and a fair few of the ones for Two Towers as well at this point, waiting to be done. It's just the Watcher in the Water and the Moria Goblin Captains that are needed, and then like a few other like generic unnamed characters like the Rohan Commanders. I like Treebeard and the Ents. I think that covers every single model that I need. Oh, and there's a few other named characters, like I don't have Shaku, those are Two Towers ones. Not worried about them for a while. We don't need them for quite some time. But yes. Anyway, so I'm going to go get this all edited together and get it up on YouTube for you folks. As I said, I'm going to work out the stream schedule for next month as well while I wait for it to export. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, do the socials down below. Be sure to follow Twitch, that way you can watch live. Also just subscribe to the YouTube and like and subscribe and all that. All that nonsense that I never ask you guys to do. Yeah. Have a lovely rest of your evening, guys. I'll see you all when I see you. Bye bye.